Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs. Today's first question relates to the new Pope. I went jump the trigger. Here's the new Pope. This is Pope Leon the 14th. Whenever you read Roman numerals after the names, always bring in an article the. Okay, so Leon the 14th. Let me write the name here. Pope Leon the 14th, or in some places called Pope Leo. Okay, both are fine, no issue. Now, you please understand that he will be the 267th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is headquartered in the Vatican, that is the seat of the Roman Catholic Church, and Catholics form the majority of Christians in the world. Now, he belongs to the United States. He was born in Chicago. And in 1982 he became a priest, a Christian priest. And 1982, while he became a priest, 3 years later, that is in 1985, he went to Peru. Now, that is where he spent almost the next, I think, more than 2 decades, the next 2 decades, and that's also where he became a Peruvian citizen. So he's both an American and a Peruvian, but technically he's an American because he was born in the United States. Now, this is his real name, of course, but as when you assume the Pope's position, people take a different name, a historic name. That's what he has done. He's the 14th Leon in the list, and he holds a BSc degree in mathematics. So he's a highly educated man, not just in terms of normal education like the civil education. We are talking of something like theological education. While he has a BSc in mathematics, he has advanced degrees, PhD level degrees in, I think, couple of PhDs in theology, Christian law, and Christian canonical law, that is the scripture law basically. These are all the original names of the previous popes and all that, so I'll not go there. He replaced Pope Francis, who passed away recently. So, China defeated South Korea, to clinch the Sudirman Cup. This is the Sudirman Cup, ad that came about because this Total Energies was a sponsor, while Xiamen is the place in China where it was held. Okay. It was won by China, as the question says. The runner-up was South Korea. And remember, this is a mixed team event. So, China has won the most titles in its history. And this particular tournament is named after an Indonesian player called Dick, Sudirman. Dick Sudirman. This is Sudirman, Dick Sudirman. Remember one more thing, that it was started in 1989 by the World Badminton Federation. Initially, it was called World Badminton Federation. Now it's called, Badminton World Federation. They changed the name. Okay. Which city hosted the 58th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of Asian Development Bank? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Asian Development Bank, as the name says, is a multilateral financial institution for the Asia-Pacific region, not just Asia, but Asia-Pacific region. This was started, if I'm not wrong, in 1966, and it's headquartered in a place called Manila, which, as you know, is the capital of the Philippines. It's named after a Spanish king called Philip II. Okay, so this is one, this is two, and the chairperson, the president rather, is a guy called Masato Kanda. He's Japanese. Historically, Japan has had the most influence here. Of course, the highest vote share belongs to the United States and Japan. Together, these guys have about 15.6% vote share. Okay, these guys are followed by China. China has about 6.4%, and India has about, India in the third place, India has about 6.3%. Okay. So, this is the vote share in the Asian Development Bank. Australia comes in next, though I normally would end it the top 3. Australia, has about 5.7%. 5.57, I think. Let's make it anyway. I have written there 5.7. It hardly is going to make any difference. So, this is where this is a little about the Asian Development Bank for you guys. Okay. It has about 68 members, and one more thing, Milan is also called the fashion capital of the world. It's also called the fashion capital of the world. As far as Europe is concerned, this place was a center of the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, why this place? Because this is a fashion house, this is a fashion city, and as a fashion capital, it is home to a lot of fashion houses, which have a lot of big tie-ups with Chinese apparel companies. So, these guys, luxury firms, luxury apparels and luxury bags and all, they outsource, they have their units in, or they give the manufacturing contract of bags, apparel and all that to Chinese companies. So, a lot of Chinese would come and go to this place, or the Italians would go there, the company guys would go to that place, to those places in China where there was an outbreak of COVID. So, these guys brought it to Europe. That is what is a particularly important thing about Milan. Okay. Name the unified digital platform recently announced by the Election Commission of India to streamline electoral services, ECI net, Election Commission of India net. Now, the Election Commission of India has not so friendly portal as of today, but they are going to launch one which will integrate all the different 40 platforms, apps that these guys have. The Election Commission of India is a constitutional body under Article 324, okay, and 324, the Election Commission of India conducts elections to the Parliament, that is both houses, the President's office, the Vice President's office, and of course, if you take the state election commissions as well, which are part of the local bodies of local organs of the Election Commission of India, then they conduct elections to the legislatures, state legislatures as well. Now, let me bring in something more. One, the EC, there is one CEC, Chief Election Commissioner, and 2 election commissioners. Okay, 2 election commissioners. One CEC here is current guy is Gnanesh Kumar. Okay, so this is Gnanesh Kumar, and 2 election commissioners. One is Dr. Vivek Joshi. The other is Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. I think we got all the things about ECI. Okay. From there, we could go to the next one. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay attention here. This is about, if I am not wrong, oh no, not. I thought this was a question that I had wanted to. It's the UK India FTA. No, this is a different question. So, which Indian city has been recognized by the World Health Organization as a member of the global network of age-friendly cities and communities, Kozhikode. Okay. So, this is the program launched by the World Health Organization in the last decade, and remember in the previous decade. Remember, the idea is to develop, is to make communities, integrate communities, cities, and make them welcome places for people to grow old. See, growing old is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Yeah. Because the alternative to growing old is to die young, and there is no fun in dying young. So, it is good to grow old, good to learn, good to live a content life. So, these kinds of places in India, of course, Kozhikode is known for its age-friendly, places, age-friendly attitude. So, Kozhikode earlier was called Calicut. The British had called it Calicut, Calicut, Calicut. Okay. Hardly anything else to discuss here. That's about it, I guess. But just about Pune, one thing, it is home to the National Film Archive of India. National Film Archive of India. Okay. Oh, Australia here, my friends. Who has been re-elected as Australia's Prime Minister, becoming the first in decades to become, to secure a second term. Anthony Albanese. Anthony Albanese. So let me bring in, a bit about Australia. But before that, Christopher Luxon is Prime Minister of New Zealand. Prime Minister of New Zealand. Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada. Kevin Rudd and Malcolm Turnbull are the previous Prime Ministers of Australia. So the first two, Luxon, New Zealand, Carney, Canada. Okay, let's look at the choices. Let's look at this wonderful map. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Australia, the sixth biggest country in the world by area. How big is it? Basically, it's about 66,000, it is about 76 lakh square kilometers. You can make it 77 because it is about 76.7 basically. So 76 lakh square kilometers or 77 lakh square kilometers, and the population is very small, 2.6 crores kind of thing. Okay. Now I want you to know why the population is low. This is an extremely dry place. This is the driest continent on the planet. See, this is all desert. This is all desert. The Great Victoria Desert here, the Gibson Desert here, and of course, these are mountain ranges, not habitable, not easy. There is another desert here, yeah. So, there is only one major river here called the Darling River. It's also called the Murray-Darling River. Now, there is a mountain range here. This is where you find the Great Barrier Reef, and Australia, of this total population of Australia, 85% live in urban areas. You have Brisbane there, you have Sydney, you have what is this place? Canberra, the capital city, and of course Melbourne there. Perth, there is Adelaide here, okay. So it's not mentioned anywhere, yeah. It's not mentioned anywhere basically. So any which way, Adelaide is here, I'm sorry, yeah, Adelaide is here. Now this is Tasmania. This is Tasmania, part of Australia, but it's a very, very dangerous place as far as this particular part of Australia is concerned. This is called the Outback, the Great Australian Outback. It is believed that if someone would lose track where they are, their location, it would be very difficult to get back to civilization. Yeah, it's a deserted place. So this is right above here is Indonesia. This is where you have Indonesia. Okay. I am fascinated by maps. Look at this. It's a wonderful map, isn't it? Here you will find New Zealand. You will find New Zealand here. Not exactly there, up here. Yes. This is the highest mountain in Australia, Kosioko. It's about 2,228 meters, which is, about 1/4 of Mount Everest. Okay. So, from there, see, all the maps that I take are from the web. So, usually I leave the source on the map itself. Which country has approved the sale of Hawkeye 360, technology to India to boost country's maritime, our country's surveillance capabilities, espionage, keeping an eye on the enemy capabilities. The United States has this technology, and ladies and gentlemen, the Hawkeye 360 can help India, scan a larger area with minimal effort. Plus, the fact that if vessels, Chinese vessels, Pakistani vessels, or Indian countries' vessels, sometimes they switch off their GPS, whatever helps the enemy track their movement, they switch off all data, all technology, they go dark. That is what it means. So, they can also be detected with this advanced technology. So, India is looking for this. India has been actively indigenizing a lot of foreign technologies, actively developing home technologies, actively buying a lot of technologies that we don't have. So, this is just one of them. And Operation Sindoor showed how effective are our missiles, especially the BrahMos, Akash, and of course, homegrown drone systems. Yeah, we are becoming, a go-to place for a lot of small countries which are looking for buying, advanced technology, but at a lower cost, at a low cost. So, from there, yeah, which country has produced two, look at this, which country has made history by producing two new climate smart rice varieties? India, my friends. Yeah, India has produced two rice varieties. One is called Pusa DST, Pusa DST, and the other is called what is that? DRR, yeah, rice. It's called DRR rice, nicknamed Kamala, nicknamed Kamala. Now, I want you to know that these two, rice varieties are 100% indigenous. There is no foreign DNA involved in here in these two rice varieties. These are high yielding varieties. They would increase the crop productivity, plus they would, use pretty minimal water. So, water conservation, protecting the environment, all these things go hand in hand as far as these two rice varieties are concerned. Okay. See, when we talk of this, you remember the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution. The Green Revolution, my friends, was the brainchild of the, India's agriculture minister in those days, C. Subramaniam. C. Subramaniam. And he entrusted one young man called M.S. Swaminathan to come up with, high yielding varieties of seeds and not to put them to use, not come up with them. Okay. So, let me tell you a little bit about this. The Green Revolution was launched in India in the 1960s to increase food production, So, the global Green Revolution was the brainchild of a man called, an American scientist, agriculture scientist called Norman Borlaug. Norman Borlaug. Okay. He was an American. He won the Nobel Prize for this particular effort. Norman Borlaug, the father of the global Green Revolution. The father of the Indian Green Revolution is, M.S. Swaminathan. M.S. Swaminathan. You could also add the name of C. Subramaniam to this. The objective was to increase food production. Yeah. There we go with some more extra stuff. Under which operation code name was the Indian nationwide civil defense mock drill conducted across 244 districts of the country? Operation Abhyas. This was primarily conducted in border states and in large metros like Hyderabad. So, India has a total of 780 districts. As of March 25th, that is end March 2025, there are 780 districts in India. Which is the largest? I think Kutch is the largest. Kutch is the largest. It's about... the largest is Kutch, is about 45,000 square kilometers. It's a little about 45,500 square kilometers. Okay. Then the smallest is a place called Mahe, which is in Kerala. Just about 50 kilometers from Kozhikode, which we looked at as an age-friendly city. Mahe is about 9 square kilometers. 9 square kilometers is about 8.6. Let's make it 9. India's largest district, India's smallest district. Okay. Japan's Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation has acquired a 51% stake in Yes Bank. Yes Bank has had a lot of things going bad for it. Its founder was a guy called Rana Talwar, I think. Yeah, Rana Talwar. He went bad. He was indicted. He's jailed actually for fraud and all. And, today Yes Bank is run by Prashant Kumar. Prashant Kumar is the CEO of Yes Bank. As far as Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation is concerned, it's a Japanese company. It's run by Takeshi Kunubo. Takeshi, this is the chairman of this company, Kunibe. Takeshi Kunibe. Okay. It's a $48 billion company. It's quite a large company. And this would be the kind of investment they are bringing into, Yes Bank, little under $2 billion is the highest in the banking sector in India. What about the CEOs of the rest of the banks? IDFC First Bank, V. Vaidyanathan, City Union Bank, Dr. N. Kamakodi. Dr. N. Kamakodi. Federal Bank, Krishna Manian, MANIAN, two separate words, Krishna Manian. IndusInd Bank again has seen a major fraud, about 1600 crores. Some estimates put the number around 2000 crores. So estimates vary till the final numbers come out. But remember, currently there is no CEO. The current CEO, the previous CEO, Sumant Katpalia, has resigned, owning moral responsibility for the fraud at IndusInd Bank. Padma Shri KV Rabia, yeah, who fought the odds to become an icon of the Kerala literacy movement, has died recently. This is Rabia ji, and she, she received the Padma Shri in 2022. Okay, and when a very young age, I think about 17, she was afflicted with polio. Yeah, 17 age. Yeah, and when she was afflicted with polio and all that, things went really bad for her. She became wheelchair bound, and after some time, she was diagnosed with cancer. And again, a large number, in fact, a big portion of, I would say, her effort, an entire period, her effort was towards educating, people, giving access to education for the illiterates. So much so that the local government there, including the district collector, went out their way and helped her build a small school. Of course, they built a road also, and they called the road, what is that? Akshara. Yeah. So anyway, after some time, she was diagnosed with cancer, and below the waist, I think, she became paralyzed. But she didn't let all these health problems impact her negatively. Her resolve only strengthened, and her effort has got her where she is. She is well known in Kerala. And ladies and gentlemen, she in 2022 received the Padma Shri, which is India's fourth highest award. Second, in 1994, she received the National Youth Award. Think of it, 1994 National Youth Award. Yeah. So, and 2002, I think, she received the 2001, 2 basically, 1, 2, she received the Kannagi Stri Shakti Puraskar. Kannagi Stri Shakti Puraskar. Yeah, I mean, it only shows, all these awards show that she didn't die unsung. Her effort had been recognized by the central government, at the, here in this case BJP, here it was Congress government, and elsewhere, local government, Kannagi Stri Shakti Puraskar, like Tamil Nadu and all. She was well respected in the world. Personal tragedies could bring everyone down, but she didn't let them impact her resolve. With state partnered with Creative Land Asia to set up India's first transmedia entertainment city called Creator Land. This is going to be set up in Amravati, the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Amravati. As of now, not much is known about this, except that an MOU, memorandum of understanding, has been signed. It's likely to create about 25,000 jobs and bring in an investment of about 10,000 crore rupees. Yeah. And the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh is Nara Chandrababu Naidu. Karnataka V. Siddharamaiah. Gujarat Bhupendra Bhai Patel or Bhupendra Patel. Devendra Fadnavis is the CM of Maharashtra. Rajasthan is Bhajanlal Sharma. With which company did the central government's India AI mission join hands to launch an initiative focused on strengthening AI capabilities and skills nationwide? Intel India. Intel, the word Intel comes from integrated electronics. Integrated electronics. We will look at the current CEOs. Intel worldwide CEOs, not India CEOs. We'll look at worldwide CEOs. This is Lip Bu Tan. This is a CEO. Google Sundar Rajan Pichai. Cisco Global CEO is Chuck Robbins. Chuck Robbins. IBM. Uh, IBM CEO is Arvind Krishna. Arvind Krishna. Arvind Krishna. Because you would know the spelling, I am not writing. Indian name, Arvind Krishna. Oracle CEO is Safra Katz. Safra Katz. Yeah. I guess, we discussed good stuff here. In a historic milestone, with which nation did India conclude a mutually beneficial free trade agreement, an FTA, and a double contribution convention? Okay, an FTA is important. A free trade agreement is where taxes are next to nothing, okay, on all kinds of imports and exports. Both countries, both parties to the FTA don't charge any taxes on them. So, as of today, UK-India bilateral trade is about $56 billion. It's about 56.6 billion, okay, of which exports, India's exports, we are talking of from India's perspective, my friends. India's exports to Britain are about $34 billion. $34 billion. Imports India has from UK are about, what are the rest? 22. Yeah, it's about 22.6. I'm taking it. Okay. So, we have a trade surplus with both the US and the UK. Both the US and the UK. A lot of things will become cheaper. Things that we import from the UK will become cheaper because India is not going to pay any, impose any tax on the imports from UK. And if you are an exporter to the UK, your goods will become cheaper because the UK is not going to impose any tax on those goods. So, things are good for us. We get access to a bigger market. Our goods, and they find a bigger audience because now they become cheaper. Mexico CEO is Claudia Sheinbaum. Claudia, not CEO, I'm sorry, President is Claudia Sheinbaum. Okay, I think that's about it. Australia, we just saw that Anthony Albanese has been re-elected the Prime Minister. The Financial Services Institutions Bureau has recommended Sanjay Joshi for the position of the CMD of Oriental Insurance Company Limited. All these are Government of India companies, my friends, the first four. Okay, 1, 3, 4 are general insurance companies, 2 is life insurance company. The CEO of Life Insurance Corporation of India is Siddharth Mohanty. Siddharth Mohanty. New India Assurance is, okay, let's one more basically. Girija Subramanian. Girija Subramanian. Okay, Girija Subramanian. I think that's about it. Iridai Debashish Panda has exhausted his term, but no new guy has come in to replace him. Okay. Name the operation launched by the Indian Armed Forces against Pakistan on 7th May 2025. You all know Operation Sindoor, so we are not going to debate this. We are not going to discuss this. Okay. Which nation with an HDI value of 0.972, which is on 1. Okay. On 1 is it means a perfect society. Highest form of development. 0.972 top the United Nations Development Program's 2025 Human Development Report. So, the HDR is brought out by the UNDP. Okay. Iceland has the world's best quality of life. Highest human development in Iceland. Number 2 in the second position are Norway and Switzerland. Norway and Switzerland tied. In the 4th position is Denmark. You see these are 2. So, basically 2, 4th, Denmark, there is no 3. Germany and Sweden plus Sweden in the 5th place. In the 5th place. Rank 5. Okay. So, Iceland has the best rank, of course. New Zealand and Norway and Switzerland in the second. Norway and Switzerland in the second place. Denmark in the fourth. Sweden and Germany in the fifth. India's rank is 130. India's rank is 130. A lot of data that these guys take is outdated, pretty outdated. So, they have their own versions of. I'm basically quite a great skeptic when it comes to these kinds of indexes and rankings and all that. Which state is all set to become a part of India's first cheetah reintroduction program, currently operational in the Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, cheetahs are in the Kuno National Park. Kuno National Park. Now they are bringing them to Rajasthan as well. Okay. In this context, Project Tiger was launched in 1973. So, it's completed a little over 50 years, my friends. Project Tiger in 1973, Project Elephant in 1992. Project Elephant in 1992. In collaboration with DRDO, as you know, is the Defense Research and Development Organization, with force has successfully undertaken combat firing of the indigenously developed and designed multi-influence ground mine. Indian Navy has done this. See, usually mines work on when they come under pressure, when there is pressure on them, they explode. But here, acoustic and other methods like acoustic pressure, sonic pressure, all kinds of alternatives that could be used to explode a mine here in an enemy vessel are being used through in this case, MIGM's case. Who is the chief of the Indian Navy? Admiral Dinesh Tripathi. Admiral Dinesh Tripathi. Indian Coast Guard, Rear Admiral, what's his name? Paramesh Shivamani. Indian Army, General, what's his name? General Upendra, yeah? Yes. Upendra Tripathi. No, Dinesh Tripathi. I think I have a psychological block there. I'll come back to this, yeah? So, Indian Air Force, you all know, he was on our TV screens, Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh Bharti, Amar Singh Preet. Okay. Upendra Dwivedi. Yeah. Sometimes, there is a psychological block that works, and there is this here in this case. The CRPF is a paramilitary force, it's headed by an IPS officer, Gnanendra Pratap Singh. Yes. Saleh bin Brake has been appointed the Prime Minister of Yemen. This is Yemen. This is majorly controlled by the Houthi militant group, my friends. Houthi terrorist group. Okay. Yeah. These are Shia guys. They are supported by Iran. Okay. And their biggest enemies are Saudi Arabia and, of course, the United Arab Emirates. And you can say Israel as well. Yeah. Oman, this is Oman here. Oman has a sultan. It's an absolute monarchy. And you have this guy called Haytham Al-Sayyid. It's Haytham bin Tariq Al-Sayyid, but Haytham Al-Sayyid. Jordan, this is Jordan. There is King Abdullah II. Egypt, this is Egypt. It's run by a military dictator who is like also the democratically elected president, Abdel Fattah El-Sisi. Abdel Fattah El-Sisi. That's the Egyptian president. Iraq has a prime minister named Muhammad Shia Al-Sudani. Yeah. This is a Red Sea. And these guys, Houthis, have been attacking a lot of ships that pass through this. especially ships belonging to the Americans and other Western powers. Okay. In the wake of Pahalgam terror attack, the government of India has shut down the gates of both the Baglihar and Salal dams, which are built on the river Chenab. This is river Chenab. You see, this is river Chenab. We have built Salal and Chenab dams, Baglihar dams here. See, there is something called the Indus Water Treaty. Indus Water Treaty signed in 1916. Under this, ICJ rivers, western rivers, they are, they could be exploited, and India cannot build dams, large dams on these rivers. So they have been given to Pakistan. Okay. BRS rivers or RBS rivers, Ravi, Base, Satluj rivers belong to India. India can store water, India can exploit water, build dams and all. Well, on Chenab and all that, we have built dams, but these are what are called run of the river dams. They don't obstruct river, they don't store water and all. But now India has stopped the flow of waters through these rivers, into Pakistan to punish them for what they have done in Pahalgam. Name the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway who will step down at the end of this year. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, my friends, is considered currently, as of today, he's the sixth richest man in the world, but these numbers keep changing all the time. And while he has a wealth of about $160 billion, he has pledged to give away each penny, every penny of that, that money. And he is nicknamed the Oracle of Omaha. He is considered the greatest stock investor in history. Oracle of Omaha. Omaha is a place in the American state of Nebraska where he lives. Oracle is wizard. Yeah. So, he's 94 years old. He's just stepped down. He's decided to step down. And Berkshire Hathaway, what does it do? It's a company that owns a lot of businesses. They are into insurance, reinsurance, they are into aviation, they are into, not exactly aviation, private jets. They own a company called NetJets. They are into the, railroads, that is basically rails and all. Berkshire Hathaway is the biggest investor in American Express, biggest investor in Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Apple as well. So, this company's new CEO will be Greg Abel. He will become the CEO on 1st January 2026. Greg Abel. Okay. There's a lot we can learn. Of course, we should start. Who won the 2025 Miami Grand Prix? Miami, as you know, is in Florida, United States, and Grand Prix. It's a Formula 1 race. It was won by Oscar Piastri of Australia. He drives for McLaren Mercedes. McLaren Mercedes. You pronounce this as Mercedes, not Mercedes. Lando Norris, both of them belong to, I think I should not write both because there is some difference there. He is a British guy. He drives for McLaren Mercedes. He also drives for McLaren Mercedes, which have a tie-up. Russell in the third place. So this guy was the one winner, second, third. Okay. Russell also is a British guy, but he drives for Mercedes. He drives for Mercedes. McLaren Mercedes have a tie-up. So it's a different team from Mercedes. Okay. The Bayern Munich football club has claimed its 34th Bundesliga title. Bundesliga is Bundesliga itself. Bundes relates to Germany. Remember this. Liga is league. So it's, Germany. Not much to discuss here, except that, Bayern Munich has won the most titles here. They have won the most titles. Each of these countries have their own football leagues, okay? Like the Premier League in UK, the Copa del Rey in Spain, and of course, Bundesliga in Germany. Who has been entrusted with the temporary responsibility, not temporarily, temporary responsibility of being India's nominee director on the board of the International Monetary Fund. Previous guy, Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, who was also at one point the chief economic advisor to the government of India, has been fired. And in his place, the current CEO of the Niti Aayog, Parmeshwaran Iyer, has become the executive director from India on the IMF board. Remember this. Parmeshwaran Iyer, CEO of Niti Aayog. Raghuram Rajan and Urjit Patel both have been RBI governors in the past. Poonam Gupta is a deputy governor, current new deputy governor of the RBI. New deputy governor of the RBI. Ravi Shankar also is a deputy governor. Deputy governor of the RBI. I think it's just stuck. Never mind. Deputy governor of the RBI. That's all from me, Bharat C. Jain. Have a lot of fun. Stay curious.